When I found the original Generations hoist at Walmart, I was probably one of the first people to find it, and I was so excited when I did. I love the shade of green, and I like Hoist as a character, and I really do love that original toy. And the new one is just so G1 accurate, I can't help but love it. I really do love both of these things, and this is an old versus new where I'm not sure which one I prefer. I really don't. I really do like both of these toys. I like both of them as Hoist. I like the colors on both of them. I like the head sculpts on both of them. I mean, I can't really pick. I don't really know. This thing came out around, I want to say, 2013-14. That's when he came out. And he came out just this year, 2020, for Transformers Earthrise. And he came out in the old Generations line when you got a comic book with every figure. So if that dates this guy a little ways away. But he is brand new for Earthrise. So yeah, I guess we'll just start talking about the old one here. And like I said, I absolutely love the shade of green. It is such a bright green. I can't get over it. I love it. I love the shade of green. I love the little thing back here. I like how that's kind of visible, but you can fold that away if you don't really want it to be there. I love the head sculpt. Let's just talk about that right now. This has got to be one of my favorite Transformers head sculpts. I just did a I did a Clone Trooper head sculpt video for Clone Corner recently, and I might need to do one for Transformers because there's a lot of Transformers heads I absolutely love. I don't know if this one would be on the list, because I do love the new head, but the colors definitely help. I love how this head's actually green. I think it's kind of more of an homage to the G1 toy. I think the G1 toy also had a green head. This is kind of inspired by IDW. Of course, he came with an IDW comic, so he is kind of more of an IDW hoist. He definitely shares the same mold as the very IDW-influenced Trail Cutter. Sorry, I can't say Trail Breaker. He was Trail Cutter. But yeah, Hoist here, he did not have to suffer from a name change. He was just good old Hoist. And the toy is pretty nice. So he did come with this weapon, which is not that good. You can tell it's just the crane. Like, hey, look, it's the hook, but it's folded up, and it kind of looks like a gun. But he can't hold it at all for some reason. So you can find this little hole in his butt and just put it there and forget about it. That's what I do. I just put it back there, I forget about it, and he's just kind of standing there like, hey man, I'm Hoist, what's up? Have you had a good day today? I hope you have. I really care about you. Oh, Hoist, I love you too. But yeah, like I said, the colors are great. I like the little splotches of blue here and there. The orange, I love how bright that orange is. It's kind of indicative of the G1, but at the same time, this chest, yes. I mean, just look at the G1 real quick. His chest is the windshield, and his stomach is the hood. He looks kind of fat, right? But that's G1 Hoist. This Hoist, though, look at that chest. Gosh, I love that chest. A little bit of the windshield showing, and then he just has the front of the car nicely angled. I love that chest. I really do like this figure as a Hoist toy, but when it comes to a G1 accurate, like, faithful Hoist, I mean, Earthrise definitely beats it. So, articulation on this guy, he has a swivel at the head, but you can actually hinge the head down a little bit if you want him kind of looking up. He has ball joints at the shoulders, which give you a lot of range. Swivel, hinge, which actually doesn't go too far. Inward at the wrist there. Waist swivel, but if you plug that in the butt, it's going to come undone. You can pretty much see. I mean, do I really need to say all the anatomy points? We all know what it is by now. One thing you might have noticed is that he kind of comes a little bit apart right there. It's kind of funny, though. The hood is actually kind of still on his stomach, but that covers it up, the grill. But yeah, I mean, it's a good-looking Hoist. I really do like it. Let's maybe adjust the camera down a little bit so you can actually see him a little more completely. Yeah, man, I really do like it. I mean, I can't knock it for anything. I really can't. Like, I'm not really finding any issues besides that chest kind of coming a little undone. But even then, he's just a fun Hoist. He's a cool Hoist, man. I really do like him. So there's the old Generations Hoist. And then here's the new Earthrise Hoist, who is a little taller. Yeah, he's definitely way more G1 accurate. He has a G1 accurate car on the arms there. He has the funny looking knees and everything. He's got the stomach. He's got the darker colored head there. He's got the little wings. I mean, it's Hoist. You can tell it's Hoist. He has kind of the nozzle gun. I mean, he looks great. He looks like a great G1 Hoist. And I can't knock it for that whatsoever. He just looks really good. They did kind of do a little bit of like that weathering, which I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me much. It's not like a weird color that they're just splashing on. I love the deco though on the truck with all the warning stripes and everything. I love that deco. You can see some of it there too. It's just such a nice hoist. I really do like it. It's one of my favorite figures of the year so far. Articulation on this one's definitely pretty good too. Head's on a ball joint this time around, but you also still have that hinge, so you can actually kind of get some up and some down motion. His arms are disappointing because the kibble is attached to the arm. So you can move the arm, but the kibble's going to come with it. Yeah. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish this was on its own system, because, I mean, the arm goes out on its own, but I wish it went forward on its own. However, you do have a bicep swivel and an elbow bend so nice and deep that it kind of makes up for it. Because, I mean, you can see, like, look, you maybe move the arm a little bit forward and just work with that nice elbow bend. And, you know, you can still get good poses out of him. He does have a waist swivel. He has good motion at the legs there. Swivel, double jointed knee for transformation. And he has ankle tilt for just for the sake of posability. So yeah, I mean, posability-wise, this is a really good hoist too. I really do like this one. And one final comparison in the robot mode. I just want to take a look at both of them and just, I mean, they look so drastically different. They're both kind of representing the same thing. The old generations one kind of goes for like an IDW classic G1 toy look, and this one's kind of looking more like the G1 cartoon. It's funny how much bigger the new one is. Usually with these comparisons, the new one is smaller, but in this case, the new one's bigger. And both of these are deluxe classes. Now, granted, this was like a $13, $14 deluxe, and this is a $20 deluxe. So I guess you get what you pay for. But, I mean, it's good. They're both really good in their own ways, and I really do like them both. So I think the old one actually has light piping too. Here, let's get my orb of light. Oh yeah, look at that. Here, let's zoom in. Zoom in on that light piping. I almost forgot. Light piping is a lost art, man. Light piping is a lost art. It's not too great, though. It's not the greatest light piping. I do like painted visors, though. Like, the new one looks really good. But I also really like light piping. I miss it. They need to bring it back at least a couple times, okay, Hasbro? Don't make every figure light piped, but at least some of them. So transformation on this guy. It's been a long time since I've transformed him. But let's transform him. So, okay, as you go. One thing I always remembered is a pain. You have to make sure the hood is like fully tabbed in, because if it like goes in and you already have the arms flipped up, it's a pain. Make sure the head's flipped when you put that down, because otherwise you're just going to be seeing his face. Get that out. This is actually pretty innovative for its time. Very Combiner Warsy. And this is pre-Combiner Wars, how the legs transform. Man, I'm so burpy right now. I'm trying to hold back burps. I just had some pizza, so leave me alone, please. And then the arms are definitely interesting, how they kind of fold in. Then you get this hinge up, and then you get the arm over. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do with the arms. It's actually kind of difficult. And I've definitely gotten a little bamboozled in the past. Especially if that freaking hood gets collapsed while you're trying to do this. That is the biggest pain. So then you just flip me do the other arm. Then maybe get that one out a bit so they can connect and interlock. And then get that kind of... Oop. Went a little too deep. Ah. Alrighty, we're almost there. It's kind of weird just working with how that kind of hinges in. But... you finesse it a bit, you get it going, and soon enough, you are left with a hoist. And see, look at that. You have to kind of get that squashened. I know it's not a word, but it is now. And then the crane, you just kind of get out. And then you can plug in either there, or let's just ignore that. You can plug it in right there, and it's also still very loose. But yeah, there's a hoist little truck mode. And when I say little, I'm not I'm not making an understatement. It's very small. And you'll definitely see that when I get the other one transformed. Very squat little vehicle. This guy trades the canopy that Trail Cutter had for the hook thing there. Yeah. When I probably get the new Trail Breaker, I'm probably going to get rid of the old Trail Cutter in this mold, but I'll keep this Hoist because I like this mold enough to at least keep one copy of it. How does it roll? Not the greatest because it has a lot of stuff scraping on the bottom. But I'm going to say not too good of a roller. Sorry, you're not worthy of being the little drone in Optimus Prime's truck. I almost said trailer truck, and it came out as truck. Sorry about that. It's like that one, what was it? Jeez. Judge Judy girl. Such a dumb woman who was saying, like, I can't even say it, it's so funny. Judge Judy's like, well, why would you do that? And she's like, because they're losers. It's like she couldn't even say her words right. Anyways, let's transform Hoist, Earthrise. I almost called him Trailbreaker. I'm losing my mind. So yeah, he is kind of similar to some other boys. Okay, how do we... I'm trying to remember how to do this. It hasn't been too long since I've transformed him, but it's been long enough. Because I usually just keep... I 9 times out of 10, I keep my Transformers in their blah blah modes. In their robot modes. You know, I kind of transform them once or twice, and I'm like, hey, that's nice. But they're usually always displayed in the robot mode. I usually keep them in the robot mode. And then the arms. The arms are really interesting on this guy. I'm not sure how I feel about him. Because you kind of get him... Okay, how do you... Okay, so that's how that goes. I think. I'm pretty sure. Is it? I feel like I'm doing something horribly wrong. Am I doing something horribly wrong? Tell me, am I doing something horribly wrong? Yeah, I think I was. There we go. Okay, so you keep that hinge like that. And then, do you? Oh my gosh, I do not know. I'll figure it out, don't worry. This is a review, you should be more prepared. This is the worst review I've ever seen. The person's not even prepared to know how to transform it. This isn't a review, man. This is a casual comparison. Does the title say review? No, it doesn't. So shut your gob, mate. Shut your gob. And then the weirdest part is how these arms kind of like fold. I would rotate the wrists. That's one thing I do. Because otherwise you're going to be seeing the fingers in the truck mode. Okay, there we go. I was just being an idiot. So even though I'll admit that I'm an idiot, you don't have to tell me. Then the arms fold, and those slots just kind of slide. There's a place they kind of slot into back there. And then those, it's all coming together. Those tab in right there. Or right there, they actually tab in right there. That's funny, it's like a half slot. And then those go like that. And then you get, what do you do next? You get this down a little ways, and then you tab that in, and then there we go. We have a very front missing Hoist in truck mode. Whoop. Yeah, I'm just kind of taken aback by how he just doesn't have a front. It just looks really odd to me. From that angle, he looks fine, but like that looks really odd. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. So in this vehicle mode, you can take this and you can just plug it in wherever. You can put it on the side, whatever. But this is actually an interesting feature. This can actually hinge down, and it's actually compatible with like those base things. Like, you know how they've had that system of clips for like the, you know, the bases and all those guys. Yeah, it's like that. You know, it's like the bases for Ironworks, things like that. So you can actually tab onto that, so that's cool. But yeah, this is also kind of a small vehicle. He really compresses. I'm surprised how much he compresses. But you get him compared to the old one, and I'm actually surprised. I remembered, this is the first time I've seen him side by side like this. I could have swore that this vehicle mode was bigger than this without comparing them side by side. But seeing them side by side, man, they're pretty similar. They're pretty similar in how they go. I feel like that's not... There we go. Jeez, I'm like, that goes in deeper. How does he roll? Not too good either, unfortunately. But you know what? It's all good. So yeah, definitely a darker green, definitely a more boxier G1 accurate truck. I love the paint on the side there. It's pretty much just on the door on the old one, but on this one it's all along the side. And I really like that. I like it's all along the side. It's kind of funny how that's just a loose piece. Isn't that funny? And it just kind of tabs in. Interesting. Here, let's get that tabbed in so I'm just not holding it. There we go. That's pretty much it, man. New versus old on the Generations Hoist figures we've gotten. So which one do I prefer? Like I said, man, I don't know. Transformation-wise, I think both of them are pretty on par with levels of fun and simplicity. The arms are a little tricky on both of them, actually. But, you know, once you know it, you know it. Me, I'm just a little rusty. I really do like the colors on the old one, but I also love the G1 accuracy on the new one. I love the head sculpt on the old one, but I also like the new one a lot too. New one's better articulated, but the old one was also pretty good. It's a toss-up for me. It really is a toss-up. Do you value G1 accuracy, or do you like the IDW brighter green? It's up to you. Get whichever one you prefer. I love the chest on the old one, but I also love the G1 accuracy on the new one. It's, you know, it's a toss-up. It really is on this one. So this is an old versus new, where I can't decide which one I prefer. I really still like the old one, but I also really like the new one. So, you know, let me know what you think, if you can actually make up your mind. Me currently, nah, I can't really make up my mind today. So yeah, there we go. Here's my old versus new on Hoist. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media links, PO Box address, and frequently asked questions down in the description below. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.